So I don't know about you guys, but whenever I go out and I just run errands, or I'm going to school or at work or whatever the case may be, it just seems like things are a lot different than what they used to be. And what I mean by that is the overall kind of ambiance, or, overall energy that's out there whenever you're out and about, right? Whenever you're not in your house, or you're just out and about doing whatever business you're doing, the overall energy, ambiance, and people have definitely changed. What do you guys think about this? But it just seems to me like the number of crazy, on edge, aggressive people that I come across on a daily basis has just skyrocketed, has just gone up exponentially. I remember even a few years back, pre C-19, if you know what I mean. The ambiance wasn't like this. You can definitely feel the tension in the air. You can definitely feel a change in energy and just an overall change in people. Obviously, not everybody is like this. Not all is doom and gloom, obviously. There are still some good people out there, and I've definitely come across a few, but they're not a dime a dozen. Like I said, I think the norm has become just on edge, aggressive, on the verge of crashing out kind of people that are just roaming the streets, right? Kind of like NPCs and GTA, kind of just super aggressive and just looking for any little inconvenience or any little thing to just go off on, the closest person that they see. Just the other day, I was, at a gas station. I was pumping gas. I was literally outside of my car. My car was closed, obviously. I was taking out my wallet, and I was literally on the verge of putting gas in my car. This lady screams out to me, this super entitled lady. She just starts screaming at me saying, "Move your car forward." And she's like signaling me to move my car forward because there was a open available spot in front of me, when she could have just easily gone around me and parked her car there. And it kind of like threw me off for a second. I was like, what does this lady want, And she's like telling me to move my car. She's like, "Oh, move your car forward, move your car forward." I just stared at her and I didn't say anything, right? I didn't move. And I could hear her cussing me out as she's like driving away. Literally took like 10 seconds to just get that, available spot at the gas station. And all the way, I could hear her just cussing me out. I'm just kind of like in a sort of shock and, not really surprised because, like I said, this is just, it seems to be like a daily occurrence, especially if you live in a big city, and probably, I'm sure you can relate. People could live in such large cities like New York or something like that, right? Or the epicenter of Los Angeles, or, the big cities here in the U.S. like Chicago or anything like that. I don't know how people could live in places like that. That's definitely the epicenter of all this madness, right? Those are hot spots, so to speak. You're going to definitely come across some people if you live in major cities. But, that was just happened to me the other day. It was very odd. And in a way, it's not odd. And that's kind of a sad thing to say, honestly. Just having these sort of instances, just having these things happen on a daily basis is kind of weird, right? Nobody wants to be dealing with things like these. Everybody just, for the most part, wants to live in peace, right? You don't want to be dealing with crazy people, on edge people, super entitled, that just seems to be the norm these days, right? Not to sound overly critical or judgmental, but this is just a fact, and I'm sure you can agree with this, that just narcissistic, self-absorbed, entitled people that just lack common decency, right, are just seem to be spawning everywhere. But like I said, there are still people out there that are that way, that are actually the complete opposite of that. There are people like that, but they are not a dime a dozen, let me tell you. So I don't know. Have you guys experienced something similar to this? Let me know your thoughts. just be careful out there, guys, because it's a crazy world we live in. I'm not saying that you should live in paranoia or be constantly, looking over your shoulder. Just be very careful. Times are tough for most people, and I think that's a big reason as to why people are crashing out in huge numbers. There's a wide variety of reasons, actually. It's just not one particular reason, right? The media has something to do with it. The price of living just keeps going up. There's a bunch of factors that that are causing this culmination, right? And people just changing, becoming more cold-hearted. Oh, and by the way, just the final thought on this subject: don't become like those people. I know it's tough interacting with those sort of people, especially like if you come across them on a day. Always be a good person, no matter what happens, no matter what goes on around you. The best revenge you can get, the best thing that can happen, is for you not to become like that, right? Don't become one of those people that, become super jaded by the world and the people around them, that they eventually, become the thing that they hate, right? Don't become like those people. Always be courteous, always be, a kind-hearted person, and treat others the way you want to be treated. If people actually followed that rule and, applied it in their lives, the world would be such a, much better place, right? But anyways, thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I just give my 2 cents on a variety of topics, whether it be, self-improvement, life advice, just general advice, observations, anything that piques my interest in general. I'm sure you'll find something of value here if you stick around. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this subject, on anything that, you want a certain video topic on, or just anything in general. I'll see you guys in the next one.